Okay. My head's hurting from watching two promos. One from an 18-year-old who hasn't had sex, with the exception of with his Sonic the Hedgehog doll, and another guy who looks like Big Pun's white ugly stepbrother. Rob Hayes and Mike Creston, whose only acknowledgement of us was a minor minute of promo time because you were too busy focusing your attention on the likes of Sean Jovi and other no-named nonsense idiots who are calling themselves radical movement leaders. Now, Mike Creston, yeah, I made fun of you in the last promo. I put on the glasses, I put on the belt, and I acted like the Napoleon Dynamite of the backyard wrestling world. Well, pal, let me go ahead and straightforward tell you, in a sense, that you can understand, because now I'm in a serious mode. You see, I just got done last night with two of the most horrific matches of my career. I'm lucky to be standing right now. So I'm not in the mood to play. What I'm in the mood for is to cut little nerd-ass white boys like yourselves down to size. So you want to sit there and say that you're trying to call out a recruit, and you want to take the generals. You don't want to call us by name because you don't want to acknowledge greatness. Well, I'm not even going to acknowledge you by name anymore, Creston. I'm just going to call you nerdy white boy with the glasses. The nerdy 18-year-old with the glasses. You want to throw us in the trash can where we belong. Well, that's all fine and dandy because we had to drag your mother out of the dumpster last night just to make sure that she's seen what a true wrestler was all about because she was upset with her son. You can't be the commander-in-chief of the radical movement if you don't have the brass to stand up and take charge in your own career. You walk around with a world championship belt that I honestly believe isn't even yours. Whereas I can walk around with a world belt because honestly and truthfully, after 10 long years of busting my ass, I earned it. So you can say you're 18 years old, have more grown-upness, more maturity to walk away from it. Well, I have enough maturity to sit there and tell an 18-year-old punk to butt out of grown folks' business. Now, Rob Hayes, with the white jacket and the white shirt, you look like an overstuffed Twinkie. Number one, how about you get a good camera and good focusing where I don't have to hear click, 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 click all through your promo. You want to call me in prime time rednecks who look like we want to do our cousins. Hey, I'm not going to deny that our cousins look good, but we have more class in our pinky than you do in your entire fat-ass swimming pool belly button. And no, we don't do our cousins. No. You want to know why your sister turned on her? Because I stuck it to her. How about that one? Now, as far as it goes with the radical movement, we had paid a little attention to the GBYWN forums. We haven't seen our names mentioned. We went to BYWpedia and looked up the radical movement. Nowhere is primetime Tim Sanders and Chris Dickens mentioned. So we don't know what's going on, but we were the generals of the radical movement and one of the key focal points of a great thing. So now we're going to move on to an even bigger thing. See, Rad Hazard's moving on and doing Backyard Wrestling Weekly in less than a week. So we're going to go ahead and focus our attention on something that I like to call, see, I don't know if Primetime knows this already, but I've been thinking about it for a while, and I think he can run with it as soon as I make mention of it. How about this? You guys can have your radical movement, your dangerous movement. Well, we're going to take the high road, and we're going to get out there for the wrestling fans and team up with Rad Hazard as he does Backyard Wrestling Weekly, and me and Primetime are going to become the leaders of what we like to call the Radical Revolution. See, here's how it goes. Backyard wrestling isn't about little pansy-ass 18-year-old nerds who want to find a way to get laid, or fat boys who want to find a reason to get some stardom. It's about guys who are willing to get out there and bust their ass and do what they do because they love to do it, and they love it for the reasons The fans love it. And that's the entertainment value. Now, the Radical Revolution is all about that. Rad Hazard wants to bring Backyard Wrestling together. That's what Backyard Wrestling Weekly was all about. Me and Primetime are the same faction. Anybody out there who wants to be in this for the wrestling, for the love of the game, for the love of the sport, for the love of the fans, and for the entertainment value, we say jump on board. This is a revolution. That's what Backyard Wrestling's all about, right? Revolutionizing what has already happened. See, we're all frowned upon, we're all laughed at because we're in a backyard setting doing what we love to do. What's the difference in playing football in your backyard or baseball in your backyard? That's not frowned upon by the pros in the Major League Baseball, the NFL, or anything to that effect. The NBA, for that matter, people play backyard basketball all the time. Most guys make it to the big time because this is where they started. But backyard wrestlers have to be frowned upon. I say no more. I say nay with that. I say let's revolutionize it. Let's let this radical revolution step up and take notice and put to shame what was being labeled as something that only little teenage nerds like Mike Creston or fat, overstuffed pot pies like Rob Hayes give a bad name to. Now I'm going to go ahead and shut my mouth because I've said enough, because if I keep going, you guys are going to be crying in your sleep, wishing that you were getting laid by your boyfriends. I'm going to let Primetime here take over, and I'm going to step out and have myself a drink because that's what cool guys do.
Primetime?